Okay, cool. Okay, yesterday I gave long bios for Grant and Bryce, so today I got to do Will, the newbie. First off, happy 21st, Will.
Thank you.
And Bryce. Today's your actual birthday, Bryce, right?
Actual birthday, yep.
Will's was March 9th. The only reason I know that is because I share that with him. Okay, so Will in the Tiger Woods Nike hat. He was a first-team All-Leaguer in 2015 at Mark Morris High School, GSHL League MVP in 2016 and 2017, All-Area MVP in 2016 and 2017, second-team All-State in 2016, first-team All-State in 2017, second in career three-point percentage at Mark Morris, fourth in all-time scoring, and all-time assists. Are you fourth in all-time assists too? Is that right?
Yeah, fourth in scoring assists.
Okay. First year you went to Hawaii Hilo, and then transferred your sophomore year to Linfield. Sophomore year you averaged 10.1 points per game. And then let's see, what do you average this year, Will?
Somewhere around the same. I think a little lower.
Yep, this year 9.5 points per game, 3 assists. Shooting 84% from the line over those 2 years, 42 from three, 49 from the field. So pretty crazy percentages there. One thing I want to point out is Bryce had quite a big game against you in high school. Yesterday when I was looking up the articles on Bryce, I noticed like a 42-point explosion, 15 rebounds.
He had like 42 out of 62 points.
Was that just a league game or was that a playoff game?
That was a league game.
League game.
He was in like threes. Yeah,
he had 2 threes that game. That was crazy.
Yeah, I actually remember. I wasn't at the game, but I remember everyone talking about it at Roots and around Roots. So you know, I gave you a big shout out on what you did, Will, but I had to throw a little slight. For Bryce.
Were you guys co-MVPs?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Awesome.
Did you guys play AU together at Roots?
Yeah.
Yeah, we played at Roots too. So
who else was on that team?
We had I think Joe Wallace,
Marcus.
Marcus.
Was that Josh and Casey coaching it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a pretty good team though.
Solid group. Was Jaron on that team?
No.
No.
Okay.
He was already at Whitman.
Caleb Poquette?
No, it was the year before.
I'm just gonna keep throwing out names. Okay, my first question to whoever wants to answer. Actually, Will, I want to get into real quick your time at Hilo and why you decided to transfer and how you found Linfield.
Well, there was a lot of reasons. Like, I just really wasn't having fun playing basketball there because I just didn't feel like the program was really that serious, honestly. There's just a lot of things I didn't like, and then it was really hard to be in Hawaii for like 9 months out of the year because, I mean, it seems like it'd be awesome. Like, so of course at times it'll be awesome, but sometimes like I miss my family or like during games they weren't ever able to watch me play in person, and like I just felt like I was missing out on a lot of things back home that I didn't want to miss out on. So that's the reason I tried to come back. And then I already talked to Shannon, Coach Rose, before I went to Hilo, and then I hit him up again, and he said that he would love to have me. So I just felt like that was the best fit. And I knew I wanted to play with Grant too.
Oh, so we're getting there.
Hey, what are some of the big differences between that league that Hilo was in versus the Northwest Conference with Linfield?
Size and athleticism. Like every team we played would have at least a 6'10" to 7-footer that was big, broad shoulders, and then their guards were like you didn't see a lot of like guards under like 6'1", 6'2". Lots of guards around 6'3" and 6'4" that were really athletic. And I mean, I wouldn't say they were like more skilled. I would say it's mostly just athleticism and size that really made the difference in that league.
How do you think Linfield would do in that league, the team from this year?
I mean, I think we could compete with some teams, but there's just some teams that would just overpower us, honestly. Like, there's some dudes I looked at and I was like, I can't even believe, like, I'm looking. They're just unbelievably big. And it was
What teams were really, really tough in that league?
Dixie State from St. George, Utah, and then Cal Baptist, who's now D1.
Dixie State's going D1 next year.
Yeah,
Are
Dixie
they?
State D1 too. And then Azusa Pacific was really good. Chaminade beat California that year, so they were pretty good. And I mean, every team was just solid. But those were the main teams that really. Oh, and Point Loma, obviously, because they almost won a natty like a year or two after I left. So
Did you play against Dalton?
yeah. Wait, no, I played. Oh yeah, I played against them against Western Washington when we beat them.
Wow. Okay, enough of you, Will. Goodbye. I'm just kidding. Bryce, thinking of the Northwest Conference now.
Yeah.
Obviously you had some tough games against Whitworth and Linfield, and you've had some. Lewis and Clark was a good game this year, but what's a team that you guys seem to just have their number? What's a team
Have their
that
number.
like where you just know it's going your way that night?
Well, it used to be Lewis and Clark, but that was over this year.
Everyone.
What'd you say, Grant?
Well, it used to be everyone.
Yeah, no, it really was. That was the crazy thing. Like my freshman and sophomore year was like we were just gonna win the game. It didn't matter. But no, it was crazy.
Grant can't stop laughing. He's shaking the screen.
But I'd say PLU. I think PLU. We just play well against them because they don't really have a lot of guys who can shoot it. They got a couple guys who can, but that's kind of something we struggle with is guarding the three. But I think we match up well against them. I think every time we play them, we're confident we're going to go get the win. But also, we'll lam it.
We'll lam it. But do you guys match up well against Grant?
I would say George Fox. I think Coach Rose has never lost to George Fox.
Really?
Or I think he has one loss maybe. But with even like his down teams, he's kind of just always had their number, and we match up well, and it's kind of like a rivalry game, so people get up for it and big crowd. So, but yeah, we always seem to play well against George Fox.
Do you guys like playing at Fox? Do you like that gym, that environment?
Yeah, it's pretty nice. It gets loud.
Do the fans stay around for you guys' games? Because they leave after the girls' game for us.
Yeah, no, I've heard that, but I think since it's kind of like a same town rivalry, they stay a little more.
Yeah, their women's games are packed.
Yeah.
It's crazy. They, like you said, Bryce, like it seems like a lot of people show up just for the women's game.
Yeah.
But
especially a Whitman George Fox game.
Oh yeah, that must be packed at Whitman too.
Yeah,
huh?
yeah. That's their big rival.
Were you at their playoff game?
No, we were at Linfield, I think.
Okay, so you're on the road.
Yeah.
Okay, Will, what's your least favorite part of the season?
Probably the 6 a.m. practices.
Do you guys have a bunch of those?
Well, we had a couple this year, but it was mostly like before like the preseason. We had a bunch of 6 a.m. conditioning workouts, like on the football field. So it was like either freezing cold, and like it was just early, and we were running a ton, or like we were in the gym and it was just, it's just early, and you just gotta. It's just tough getting through it sometimes, especially with school and everything. So that's probably my least favorite part. What
about you guys? Is there like a section of the season that really stinks?
Always coming back from Christmas break, always kind of a tough time. Like, kind of just going home from family, and you kind of have like maybe 5 days till your next game. So coaches are kind of coming at you and kind of getting you ready for conference. I mean, you're excited to get conference started, but it's kind of like that 26th, 27th when you're just practicing with no one on campus. You're kind of just alone, and I don't know what to do at that time.
Yeah.
Agree with that.
Probably like the first games back after Christmas break, we usually play like the 27th, 28th, and those games kind of suck. But like this year we had a 3-week break in December where we didn't have a game. We just practiced. So yeah, no, that was not fun at all.
Jeez. That's rough. Speaking of that, like kind of going hand in hand with that, can you think of like the toughest practice you've ever had? Are there like some practices that you still have nightmares about?
I mean, we had one this year. Grant probably remembers that. We did like defensive slides from sideline to sideline for like 2.5 minutes straight. we went like right into a different running drill, and then we weren't running fast enough, so we went right back into slides for another 2.5 minutes straight. And it was just like we just pretty much ran the entire time, and people were puking. People were like, I thought Hilton was gonna die.
Is that the big guy?
Yeah, I thought our big guy was going down today.
Was it after a loss or something, or
Oh yeah, it was like after a loss. I think it was after like our second game of the season we lost, and then that practice back we just went. Yeah, he was not happy with us.
And it's kind of like with Coach Backermas, if he was wearing his reading glasses and his hair was all messed up, you kind of knew you're gonna be in for it today. It's kind of with Coach Rose. If he's got this little baseball cap on and he's in like a hoodie or something, you're done for.
Bryce, tell me about some of your guys' crazy like preseason practices.
Ooh, I mean, like that 3-week break that we had, we would just do live drills for like 2 hours. But if you complained about a call, he'd tell us to put the balls away and we just run for the rest of the time. So there was like one of the practices, like one of our freshmen complained about a call like 20 minutes into practice. So we just ran for like an hour. But yeah, I mean, it's just like he'll do the drill where you roll the ball out and 2 guys go after it, dive on the floor, all that stuff. But no, kind of like you were saying, Grant, Coach Bridge he wears like rubber bands around his hands, but the ones for like each of his kids, he's got like a blue and a pink one. But if he doesn't have them on one day, you know you're in for a tough practice. Yeah.
That's so funny. It's so true though, like the different coaching attires and you know what day it is. Have you guys ever been kicked out of practice? And then the second part of that is, have you ever puked in practice?
I've never been kicked out or puked.
There you go, Will.
Thankfully.
Next year, Will.
Yeah.
I've never been kicked out, but at Eastern Washington, I puked in a conditioning drill.
I haven't been kicked out, but I've seen a lot of people kicked out. But I've definitely thrown up a couple times out there.
Bryce is like, yeah, like every Tuesday I throw up.
Yeah, no, right.
My first practice, my freshman year, all 5 freshmen puked because we just like had no idea what to expect. No one like warned us or anything, so we were going way too hard in like the drills that the seniors were kind of relaxing in. And then when it got to the ones where we had to really pick it up, it was too late. But all right, name the best teammate you've had. I'm going to go down a couple different categories. My first category is going to be best dunker.
Easy.
That's going to be Austin, right?
Yeah, Austin Butler, easy.
He had some crazy ones. I saw one where he like really posterized a kid.
Yeah, I've seen him poster 5 or 6 guys. Even at practice, it's not fun. So
yeah, I've seen a couple of his on Twitter, and it's like, holy crap.
Yeah.
Linfield, any dunkers? Any big dunkers?
Dempsey can get up, and we have Max Loman could get up. And then we had a guy last year, Liam O'Reilly, who had some good bounce on him. But at Eastern, I had pretty much everyone was dunking. And we had a guy named Jake. We had Jake Wiley, who played in the NBA, who seemed to dunk on everybody.
Yeah, he had some posters. I saw those online.
Y'all had someone who dunked on one of our guys this year at like one of the last games. I don't even remember, but it was pretty bad. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and that was his first dunk of his like career.
Yeah. No, he yammed that.
What number is he?
11. He's our point guard.
Okay.
Yeah,
best scorer that you've played with.
I'll say at Linfield, but Dempsey seems to like just somehow find ways to score. But you're like, how did he do that? Like, he'll just kind of put his head down, go right, and you know it's coming, and still score. And then when he gets his jump shot going, you're like, all right, he's going for 20 at least.
Yeah,
like I'll look up at the scoreboard. I'm like, does he really have like 15 already? I swear we just scored.
He's that type of guy. Like you look up there and you're just like, oh, he has 22, and he just gets a lot of layups, and then once he hits his jump shots, it's like, yep, he's gonna go for a lot.
I'd say Tim Howell. He put up 40 a couple times. He's just that floater. Like he doesn't shoot a jump shot, but he can just throw it up at the rim and it's gonna go down every time.
Was Tim the LA kid? Was he from LA?
Yeah, he's from LA.
I remember hearing about him. Okay, best defender.
At Linfield,
Besides yourself, Will.
Coach Rose told me and Will are pretty bad defenders, like 15 times this year.
Way more than that.
But yeah, we were still like the best defensive team in the conference. But defender, I'd probably Tanner Atensi, our point guard, can get into people pretty well.
Bryce Whitman, best
Austin
defender.
Butler.
Austin.
Yeah, no, just a freak. He averaged like 4 steals a game, 5 steals a game, something like that senior year. Like he just gets into people.
Okay, I want to go toughest like personal matchup. So someone you had to guard that had your number on a different team, like just like kind of wore you out. Will, you got anybody in mind? Anybody that was like a tough matchup for you?
I mean, I got a couple in mind when I was in Hilo. There's a couple guards that were just super quick off the bounce, and I don't remember their names, but there's a guy from Hawaii Pacific and another guy from Dixie State. He wore a little face mask, and he was tough because I'd go over the screen, he'd go by me, I'd go under the screen, he'd hit a three. It was just like I didn't know what to do, and I was a freshman. I was lost.
Is that kind of your tough matchup is speed? Like, would you rather guard someone that was bigger than you but a little bit slower?
Oh yeah, I'd take a guy who was bigger than me, who was slower, rather than a guy smaller and quicker every day.
Same. I hate those little like 5'8" guys that are just so fast.
Yeah, like there's a guy from Warner Pacific. I think his name's Kadeem Strickland.
Oh, he went off. Yeah,
He went off on us, and he was like 5'8" and like maybe $160, but he was just so quick. It's hard to stay in front of.
Bryce, Grant, any tough matchups or type of players that are tough for you guys?
what's kind of nice, at least at Linfield, is that we don't really match up man to man, so you're not getting either slaughtered by yourself or you're getting really slaughtered as a team. But well, in high school, I played in a game against Calvin Hermanson, and he had 52 on us.
He was
I
a
was guarding him the whole time, but he did that. And then, but personally, yeah, any kind of quicker guard, I'm getting blown by.
I would say Hilton from Linfield. I mean, he's just a big body, and it's tough to box him out. Like the first game that we played you guys this year, I think I played like 2 minutes because he had 3 offensive rebounds on me in like the 2 minutes. So
Yeah,
I like
my coach just won't let me do it.
good.
He's a solid piece for you guys. I like watching him play.
He's a really good passer.
Yeah, I think he's second in our team in assists or something.
Yeah.
He's good.
We just started sagging off him, letting him shoot the jump shot.
Yeah,
Don't let him
that's
pass it
what
inside.
we started doing.
Hey, Grant, I think you know who one of my tough matchups was. David Riley.
Oh, Coach Riley was my assistant at Eastern, and yeah, he was still good even then.
He's a beast. He was at Whitworth when I was at Lewis and Clark, and it was
Oh,
always
really?
the guy I had to guard. And I think he's like 6'4", 6'5", probably.
Yeah, he's super long. He's kind of like similar size to me, but he's pretty quick. He can finish inside. He's got a really he was like one of Whitworth's most all-time scoring or something.
Yeah, he was a beast. He would, because he could shoot it and he had size over me. So like even if I was hand in his face, he was still releasing above my hand. Okay, if you had to, what? Go ahead, Grant.
When you were at Lewis and Clark, who was kind of the like league champ? Was there?
Whitworth every year.
Makes sense.
Yeah, Whitworth. I was just looking it up before I talked to you guys, and I didn't beat Whitworth once in my 4 years. I went 8-0 against Pacific, 6-2 against Linfield, 5-4 against Whitman, 0-8 against Whitworth, 5-3 against Willamette, 6-2 against PLU.
They just dominated.
6-2 against UPS, and 3-5 against Fox. Fox kind of had our number back then. But yeah, it's weird how the league changes. Like every 5. Like we were in the playoffs every year I was there, and then at the beginning of your guys' careers, Lewis and Clark was really down. And so now Whitworth is still good. Whitman was solid back then, but you guys have really risen up. Linfield, you guys have really risen up. Like UPS is pretty tough right now, aren't they?
They were last couple of years, yeah.
Yeah.
And back then they were kind of down. We only lost them twice in 4 years. But okay, if you had to transfer from your guys' schools right now to a different school in the conference, which one would you choose? And I want you to think about basketball, academics, location, like the whole package.
Wow.
Shoot.
Honestly, probably just Whitman or Whitworth because
You got to pick one, Grant.
I'll go Whitman just because I know they're going to compete for a league title.
You said Whitman.
I'd probably go
Whitman. Will, you said Whitworth?
Yeah, for sure. Because I feel like that play style and like I like Spokane and I visited there before I went there. It's a sweet campus. I like it, so I'd probably just go there if I were going.
I can't transfer to Whitworth, so I'll say Linfield.
I'd
I'd love to play that high post.
They need a new post.
Yeah.
It's never too late.
Uh-oh, recruiting violations.
Tampering.
Okay, if you could go back to high school, knowing what you know now as a player, a student, all of your knowledge, take it back. What are some of the things that you would have done differently and changed? Maybe in training, maybe in your style of play, what you did in school, whatever. If you could give tips to 15-year-old Grant, Bryce, and Will, what would be that?
I'd probably, especially because right when I was kind of in high school was when the game was kind of starting to change into shooters and almost everyone was playing like a guard. So I would have definitely focused more on ball handling, trying to become a more guard-like player instead of kind of growing up. I was kind of just like a shooting, like a shot, but I could also play the post. But I would try to fix more on the guard skills.
Bryce, Will?
I would say just like focusing on like the out of basketball stuff, like the nutrition and getting in the weight room. Like I lifted weights, but I wasn't focusing on it like I should have, and definitely not like what I was eating, too much fast food. Definitely focus on that a lot more.
Yeah, I'd probably focus more on like taking care of my body, nutrition, and like just the little things. Like I did do some stuff for like agility, quickness, but I just focus a lot more on that and like do a ton more on trying to get as athletic as I can and like just trying to be like the best athlete I can.
Okay, if you could pick one player in the conference to add to your team to take you guys even further, you get one player, and you got to think of like fit and everything and style of play.
From this year's, like this year?
Yeah, let's go this year. One player from a different team to add to your team to make you guys even better. And it doesn't mean you're replacing like your teammate. It's just like an addition.
Kind of I'm gonna stay away from the obvious, kind of like your like Ben College, your league MVP, because you make any team better. But one I think is Zeke Crawford from Lewis and Clark, because we didn't really have a guy like that as a post. Big, but Zeke's just super athletic and rebounded the crap out of it, and he could have done a lot of good things for us, I think.
Yeah. A guy for me, from Whitworth, his name's Sam Lees.
What number is he?
Number, I think 12.
12, yeah.
He's like a scrappy. He can score. He's a nice mid-range touch. He gets a lot of rebounds. He's athletic and plays great defense. And I just feel like him in the rotation would have been huge. You could just put him at our little high post spot, and he could turn around and hit that mid-range jumper. That'd open up a lot for us. We have a lot of guys that could do that too on our team, but
I was gonna say Sam Lees too because he's a good defender, but maybe Dempsey. I mean,
Dempsey
guy who can take the ball. Yeah, he would just up and down, let him run. That'd be nice.
Grant, did you or you probably didn't guard Zeke, did you? Or he didn't guard you, did he?
I mean, I got kind of with our defense is again it just switches every kind of.
But what about him? He didn't guard you, did he?
No, he didn't.
Okay.
But I got stuck on him in the post a couple times, and he'd come around and hit a jump hook or something.
That left hand.
He's he helps me a lot with my camps when I'm running them in Portland. He's a good guy. Does he talk on the court or is he quiet?
I don't remember him talking much.
Yeah, I remember.
Only because we have 20.
Hey, did they get you guys one time this year or no?
No.
Yeah.
We only lost to the Wits.
Okay. Is there anyone in the conference that talks a lot?
Yeah, I want to hear you guys' answers. I want to know.
Is there anyone from Whitman? I know Bryce will let people know when he blocks their shots.
Jaron Kirkley was kind of talking a little bit,
Sure.
but I mean, not really a lot. It was just I don't
Yeah,
know.
I'm trying to think. Whitworth has some guys that'll chirp for sure.
Our biggest one, actually, Lewis and Clark talked a lot this year, but POU.
Really?
They love to talk.
Yeah.
I think because one of their guys is like a former Whitman player who transferred, so I think that kind of helps.
Gotcha.
Like Kingma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Old Lane. He scored his 1,000th point against his 1,000th point against us, so that was a pretty cool thing.
Kind of changing subjects. What are you guys? Can you guys talk about off seasons as a D3 hooper? Like, either going into summer or even before the season starts. Can you talk about like what you guys did, maybe personally or as a team, and whether you liked it, disliked it, what it was like? Anything about off season? Grant, go ahead and take the lead, old man.
Well, I kind of approached it a little differently my last year just because I redshirted, so it was my 5th year, and I wasn't burnt out, but I was kind of like, I need to take some time off to kind of get remotivated, kind of, I don't know, freshen up the body a little bit, and then get going again when August started. So I took a June and July. I kind of, I wouldn't say took off, but I didn't play as much basketball, but I was still trying to stay in shape. And then I really hit it hard in August and September. But yeah, I try to stay in the gym as much as I can, obviously, and shoot. But you do kind of have to take time off, and also, yeah, stay in the weight room, stay in shape. Kind of your 2 biggest things.
Did you guys, when you guys get back to school, like in August, September, do you guys do a lot of open gyms as a team?
Yeah, we do like 3 times a week.
Bryce, what do you do in the off seasons? Do you work? Do you?
Yeah, well, like we had a lot of guys on campus this summer, so we played a lot of one-on-one, just kind of work on quickness, guarding people, and a lot of our offense is centered around one-on-one guard play, so that was a really good thing for us. And then, a lot of weight room work for everybody because we're not really the biggest guys in the world. But yeah, we do team yoga twice a week. We get open gyms, team lifts, stuff like that. So it's a pretty good schedule. A lot of conditioning and stuff too.
Will, what have you been doing in your off season?
Well, last off season I stayed on campus, so I was pretty much like the only one on campus. So I was just anytime I could get in the gym, I'd get in the gym. When most of the time the gym wasn't open, so I shot a lot on an outside hoop. So that was tough sometimes, but it worked. And then obviously I tried to just do a lot of conditioning, a lot of strength training, and then I worked 2 jobs also. So it's I was really busy this summer with schedule. So
Did you go home at all, or were you just out there the whole time?
I was pretty much out there the entire time, just working and working out. Yeah.
Our coach this year kind of said everyone needs to lift more except for Will. So that was kind of a fun
Will's
practice.
jacked. Will's got that beach body going. What's your guys' favorite memory so far? Or Grant, you're retired now, but
for sure, just cutting down the nets, sharing a league title. I mean, Linfield hasn't won one in 20 years, so that was pretty special.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I mean, that was my first league title in college, so not a lot of people get to get even one of those. So getting one is pretty special.
For sure.
Like
Bryce,
this
what about
year's,
you?
yeah, this year's conference championship, just the postseason one was pretty cool. Just because it was like a group of guys who really wasn't in the rotation couple years before, and winning them both on the road was pretty cool.
Yeah, so you guys played at Whitworth to the final game?
At Whitworth, the final game. That was really cool because their whole fans, the Battle of the Wits, they love it out there. So
Yeah. Can you guys tell me any funny stories about your guys' coaches, either like freaking out or anything related to coaches and a good story that sticks out? And Grant, you don't have to worry about coming back and running, so you can really get into it.
Yeah, no, well, it's kind of hard to stay appropriate on the subject.
Well,
But I just remember, like, it's all like love and stuff. But I remember one time he came in and he's just like, we're playing like St. John's or something, and it's like, well, rumor has it this post. Sorry. He's like, rumor has it this post is gonna eat Grant Gibbs' lunch. He's gonna go in there. He's gonna dominate him, out physical. And he just kind of went on a rant, and you couldn't help but just kind of laugh. And he was kind of serious, but it was, I don't know, I'll never forget it. It was funny.
Is Rose pretty intimidating when he's getting after it?
Yeah, that 6'8", like, I don't want to guess his weight because he might be looking me, but it's pretty intimidating sometimes.
He's a big dude. What about you, Bryce? You got any funny stories or?
I got a couple like legendary stories, I guess, that have been kind of passed down through the Whitman basketball kind of community. But Coach Bridgeland, there's a story, I don't know how much I believe it, but that he lost a game at Whitworth once, and he decided he wanted to walk home. So
to Walla Walla.
To Walla Walla.
No way.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past him. Let's say that. And then there's another one where a kid wanted some more playing time. So he's like, what can I do to get in the rotation? So Bridge told him to meet him out at the park at 5 a.m. And he played one-on-one with him for 2 hours at 5 a.m. in the morning.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Some of the coaching stories that go around are just top notch. Can you guys talk about
You gotta let Will answer that one. He's probably got some.
Yeah, you got any good ones, Will?
With Rose, I mean, there was almost every day he was coming in saying something to me, it felt like. But I think one of them that stuck out was after we lost our second game of the season, he put literally a projection screen out in the hallway of our health and human performance building outside our gym, and literally played our game on the screen and was just screaming at us in the middle of the day with everyone working, all the students walking by, screaming at us, saying how soft we are, how bad we are. It was just it was kind of funny, but also kind of embarrassing because
the athletic building is just all right.
They're just sitting in their office listening to Coach Rose scream for 45 straight minutes.
There's nothing worse than the day after a lost practice.
Oh man,
nothing worse.
You just know going in this is just gonna be horrible.
Oh man, and then after a win, it's so nice. After especially a big win, like one that maybe you weren't supposed to get.
You know what else is a bad feeling is when you're watching film and you know the next play is like a air ball, or you just get smoked on defense and you can't stop it from coming up on the film. So you're like, all right,
here we go. Buckle up. Can you guys tell me about what's Walla Walla and McMinnville like? What are the towns like?
I guess Walla Walla is it's small. I come from a small town, but it's pretty small. There's not a lot to do out there unless you're trying to go out to the wheat fields and catch a sunset. That's about it out there. But the community is really cool. They all come out, they support us. We do a lot of work in the community with the middle schools and stuff. So it's a small but really tight knit community.
McMinnville, I think McMinnville and Walla Walla are kind of both the wine country, so they're huge on that. The downtown's pretty cool though in McMinnville, especially when you turn 21. You can kind of go out to the bars. Unfortunately, right when Will turned 21, they all closed down. We were kind of scared, maybe. I don't know. But, the downtown's pretty cool, but it is small. Kind of the same thing as Longview.
Does it have a similar feel to Longview?
I'd say in some ways, but like Longview's has more hills, has more views. McMinnville's more like flat. Oh, there's just farms and like wine, and like industries everywhere, and like I don't know. There's just not. I feel like there's more to do with Longview than McMinnville.
Okay. My final question is to Will. I got to ask Bryce and Grant this yesterday, so I'm just curious what you're studying and maybe like what field you want to get into, or if you have a dream job in mind.
My major right now is health and fitness like studies. So I'm just looking to do like something along there, like anything like a personal trainer, like nutritionist, or I could even like, if I wanted to, I could be a teacher, keep on getting my education, get my master's, or be like a physical trainer, athletic trainer, if I wanted to keep on going after that as well. So somewhere along with the lines of exercise, fitness, and health. So that really interests me.
Do you enjoy the nutrition part of it more, or the fitness part of it more?
I think they go hand in hand. I've been really trying to focus on nutrition and learn new things, but also I love working out, and I would love to like help people work out and feel better about themselves and make them make strides in their health and fitness. So it'd be awesome to do.
Cool. I'll hire you. I'm out of shape.
Bad because when Will started getting into this like health and fitness, he quit going on like Taco Bell runs with me, and
Good.
I kind of felt guilty about myself.
Yeah, you need to hang out with Will more. Get in shape. Get that beach body ready.
I don't know. I can do what I want now.
Any last words or questions?
Yeah, how you like being an assistant coach for Lewis and Clark?
Man, I love it. It's compared to Roots, it's a totally different ballgame because I'm focused on like 15 people rather than like hundreds of people.
Yeah, it's probably a lot smaller, a lot easier to.
Do you have plans of like trying to be a head coach someday, or do you kind of like the responsibility of just being an assistant?
I mean, the assistant role is nice right now while I'm trying to figure out, the college landscape. But I definitely want to be a head coach. I think D3 women's would be my goal for right now. I think it's a good fit. So yeah, someday D3
That'd be awesome.
head coach would be the goal.
You can recruit my daughter.
Yeah, you better get after it and get married.
No, I'm talking down the road, obviously.
Do any of you guys want to get into coaching? I mean, like, would that be like something you'd want to do full time?
I mean, I've thought about it.
Yeah.
Where I'm going. So
there's some definitely that I'm thinking about, but we'll see what happens this next year.
Yeah, for sure. It's kind of nice that you got into the college coaching industry the way you did, because I feel like a lot of it now is going like the grad assistant route and then kind of going from there, which kind of, I don't know, isn't intriguing right now, but who knows down the road if I could get into that.
Yeah, I think I did it a little bit backwards. I'm like getting into it super late. I'm like 80 years old as an assistant. But okay, I gotta get on another Skype call with our school here in 1 minute. But the last thing I was gonna ask you guys is, do any three of you want to play like overseas or beyond college? Grant, Bryce, Will, anybody? Hello, Bueller.
I mean, right now, I don't see myself doing that, but depending on how well my senior year goes, if anything happens, to come up. I mean, I don't see why not trying if you have an opportunity to do something like that. But I mean, we'll see. It just all depends on if I have a solid senior year and I'm enjoying playing still after my senior year. So
Yeah, it's something I thought about. I've talked about it with my coaches, but it's like we'll see how the body's doing after this next year.
Yeah, unless the Blazers need like a corner shooter that just kind of sits there and shoot, then probably not.
Guys, I'm gonna be down here. I'm not playing defense tonight.
Exactly. If
All
Melo
right.
gets hurt and they need someone.
All right, fellas. Well, I think all four of us should create a city league team at some point in our lives together.
For sure.
All right. I'll
All
talk
right,
to you guys
thanks,
later.
bye.
All right.
See you guys.
see you guys.